So I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of the cleanest shaving creams for bald guys. And this one just arrived today, Pacific Shaving Cream. And I'm gonna show you what it's like. All right, here we go. For this one, Pacific Shaving Cream, it's intentionally in a small bottle because they say a little goes a long way. So we're gonna find out about that. So a pea size. This is what I'm starting with. It says it doesn't lather. I'm not a huge fan of that. I really like lather. It does not lather. It is more like soap. But it says it just needs a thin layer. So we're gonna try that. I did wet my head, so it's spreading a little bit more as I put it on. You can definitely see it. At this point, usually I would still have enough on my hands to do the sides of my cheeks and under my chin, but I don't have a lot, so I'm gonna get a little bit more. Apparently Pacific Shaving Cream is also very clean. It has a nice smell to it. I don't see anything on the ingredient list about fragrances, which, fragrances, they're not necessarily the cleanest, even though they do smell good. And again, I am using my Gillette Profusion. All right, here we go. Again, it's not lathered, but it's supposed to glide really well. Not bad. It doesn't seem to glide as well as what I was showing you in my first video with Dr. Bronner's, even though if you go back to that, I did not like the smell of Dr. Bronner's and the stickiness. Okay, that wasn't bad. Didn't like the glide, great, but it didn't pull my hair. Apparently, I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing. My first video was not extremely exciting, so I'm trying to make this a little more energetic. It is getting gunked up in my shaver. I never liked that. Won't come out with water, but it is what it is. According to what I read online, Pacific Shaving Company started as a travel brand. So they were intentionally small with their packaging, so you could take it on planes. And therefore they needed a product that you could just use a little bit of it to get the intended result. So far, I will give it to them for that. It is not really hurting my head at all. It does feel like it's gliding well. I've used a lot of my cheeks, if you'll remember, and I can tell it's pulling a little more than it did on the top of my head. Maybe needed to use a pea size on the top of my head and a pea size on the rest of my face. As I'm getting started with this channel, if you have thoughts or ideas, if you're going bald, if you are bald, if you have questions about being bald, let me know. I'd love to know what kind of content you would find most helpful. I've been bald for almost 20 years, I guess. And it's honestly the best decision that I've made, hair-wise. Getting to the back of my head where the soap has been, the cream has been the longest. I can definitely tell that it has dried some, which I don't like as well. And it's a little harder to shave, but still not doing horribly. All right, there we go. You can tell it is smooth. I like that. I do feel a little bit of maybe razor burn. I don't know. Could have been I needed to use a little bit more of the cream. My razor is quite dirty. I do not like that. It usually comes clean with my other products. I'll come back in a few minutes and let you know how it was. My evaluation. First, irritation. I'm gonna have to go with a 2 out of 5. I am not liking, feels kind of stingy on the top of my head, and I just don't like that. So 2 out of 5 for irritation. With the smell, wasn't too bad actually. Not a lot of smell to it, so we'll probably do 4 out of 5 for that. For clean ingredients, I would almost give it a 5 out of 5 because it seems to be quite clean, but there's a lot of ingredients listed on the back here. Some that I can't really pronounce, which is always a bad sign. So I'll do 4 out of 5 for that. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 just because it does not feel great irritation-wise. I might do this one again at some point in the future just to use it a little bit more of it and see if it comes out better. But overall, that is my take on Pacific Shaving Cream. Subscribe for more content like this.